Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So, tomorrow will be a very important day to see who wins all of these different races. Election results will be watched closely to see if the Democrats are slaughtered or if they're, maintain a little bit of power or if they just, against all odds, beat everybody, right? So it'll be very interesting. We have New Jersey, Virginia, several other states, of course, New York. I've said, and many other people said that if Mamdani wins New York, which I believe he will be, then people are going to be leaving New York in droves, and no one will go there. So we're going to see. The Democrats haven't learned. They're still in the Trump derangement syndrome for some reason, and they're going to destroy themselves. And I guess that's just what this consciousness ascension process that we're going through. Nicholas Veniamin and I had a very interesting show earlier when we talked about that. It's almost like a splitting of these different paradigms. You have people that are low frequency that are going to vote for Mamdani, and that's going to destroy New York if that happens, which is looking like it will. Will the same thing happen in Virginia? Will it happen in New Jersey? Where the two governors? We'll see. So in California, they're going to be voting on, I think, Proposition 10, which will give them the ability to redistrict and take out more Republican seats. California is already ridiculously Democrat, and they're going to make it even more Democrat. Haven't enough people left, California yet. I guess it'll be the same situation. People are just going to leave California, disregard, won't visit, won't buy products from these different states. If you live in those states, I feel for you. You could do what Oregon's doing and, have counties that have voted to basically secede from Oregon and join Idaho. So that could happen, I guess, throughout California. I think maybe Northern California can join in to the different counties that are seceding and joining Idaho. So we may see that blue states basically get smaller and red states get bigger, and then a complete ostracization of these different cities. We've talked about this. Maybe even build walls around them. Escape from New York, escape from LA. So I don't understand. But that's the consciousness that we're living in right now. A lot of people have been compromised by education system, by the political system, news system, which are all basically have leaned very negative. So that's a state that we live in, and a state of consciousness that we live in. And if we continue down that road of lower consciousness for some of these cities and states and so forth, then they'll collapse. They'll collapse in on themselves. And maybe even, like some people have said, there's going to be a big solar flash, and then, the earth splits. Consciousness for low consciousness people. You want your food that's basically manufactured, right, with bugs, and you want all the injections to keep you safe. You want surveillance on everything, everywhere, complete control, chips inside you, and so some people want that. And like New Yorkers and Californians and Portlanders, and so that's kind of the way things are moving. Chicagans, you Chicagans, your cities are like not looking so good, right? So that's what we're looking at. So let's look at the some of the conversations that people are having. Like I said, is it going to be So a lot of us think that there's no way that people are going to keep voting for Democrats, but I think we're going to find out tomorrow if that's real or not.
Republican win in New Jersey. That's what we're all really going to be looking at right now. But having a shutdown, the economy wobbly, people not feeling better days are here to come doesn't bode well for the party in office, which is Republicans right now.
So how big of a disappointment would it be to Democrats if they're not successful tomorrow?
That's the key question, I think. It'd be devastating. If the Democrats, after all of the shenanigans and norm breaking of Donald Trump we're even debating whether his tariff policy is legal or not with the Supreme Court on Wednesday. If the Democrats can't hold on to Virginia and particularly New Jersey's governorships, then it tells you that it's not just red and blue like we used to think, that the Republican Party's making big gains in a place like New Jersey, which should be a stronghold for the Democrats at this point, but it's not clear whether it is or not. So those are the two to watch. Democrats win both of those, they get momentum out of it. Suddenly, they have two new governor stars on the TV shows out there talking. They'll have a new mayor of New York who will be controversial, but will appease, if you like, the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. And they could start looking to unify for 2026 to really put some numbers on Trump and the Republicans and the Democrats reclaim Congress. That's the plan. But all roads lead through Virginia and New Jersey, in my mind.
So President Trump will be in both of those states promoting the two governor candidates. We'll see how that works out. So
exactly a year after he returned to the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump and the Republicans will face their first major electoral test on November 4th. Voters across 4 states, New Jersey, Virginia, California, and New York City, will head to cast their ballots. While New Jersey and Virginia will vote for their next governor, New York City will vote to elect their next mayor, and voters in California will take a call on redrawing the state's electoral map. While Trump himself is not on the ballot, Democrats and Republicans are still talking about him and his MAGA policies, making these elections a mini referendum for Trump and perhaps.
All right, so it's going to be a referendum for Trump and team. If they don't do well, if the Democrats have some kind of landslide victories, which they have been able to do because they've been manipulating the polls, the polls look like they're going to win. If they do win at the ballot, which they've also been able to manipulate, then we're going to see some problems, right? And I don't know when that works out or how long that goes forward. But I saw this, shared it on the show that I did with Nicholas. There was this one woman that said that President Trump passed a bill, big, beautiful bill, that basically gave him funding for the next 4 years. And so he doesn't need Congress anymore. So Congress can stay shut and not go back to work for the next 4 years. He's got the money he needs. So it just keeps things going. But what will that look like at the ballots? If the stock market crashes, which it will, probably before the 2026 election, at some point, it's going to be there's definitely going to be a pullback tomorrow, potentially significant, and then into the rest of the week, and then maybe it'll recover. But we're going to see a lot of discontent, and if President Trump, is basically going to war in Venezuela, which is coming, he's not supporting NATO anymore, that's the way it is. If he's not doing the things of the old guard, they're going to continue to attack him and make him look bad. Bad Trump. So Democrats aren't going to be able to change that outlook if they win at the ballot and the economy turns down so significantly, which it's going to do. And so it's going to be tough for the vote. So I guess Congress and the Senate can go ahead and elect whoever they want, but they won't have any say. They can pass bills or whatever, but Trump's got the funding, and it doesn't matter. So I don't know. It seems kind of sketchy to me, but we'll see. We'll see going forward. All right. So there's going to be some issues, I think, with the. So here, let me look at this real quick. Who is winning the New Jersey governor race? So Chittarelli looks like he's going to win it. They say that Nikki Sherrill is she's got the ballot or the polling in her favor. But when you look at the numbers, it looks like if you look at the last governor's race with that super corrupt knucklehead Phil Murphy, who I don't think won, but he had a lot more percentage-wise, and Chittarelli almost beat him and lost by like 3% or something crazy. And Chittarelli was behind by 8 points. So now he's only behind by 3 points. So that might be the thing. Like I said, the Democrats manipulate the polls. They control the polls. They control the elections. So it's like, I don't know. So we'll see. It could be to the point where they can't cheat. But if you look at Maricopa County in Arizona, they figure out a way to cheat, every time. So, New Jersey is just about as red as it can be. Virginia has unfortunately moved in that direction. When I was in the SEAL teams, SEAL Team 6 and SEAL Team 4, way back in the day, it was red, as red as could be. Even though it was blue up around the big city, Washington D.C., the Virginia side, there was so much red, it didn't make a difference. Now it's basically looks like it might turn. So that's too bad. That's too bad for the people of Virginia. It's too bad for people of New Jersey. It's too bad for the people of California and New York City. But that's you're voting for it. You're voting these people in. So those of us that have been trying to save you for all this time, we're basically going to turn our back on you, right? And we're going to let you find out the hard way. So get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. Make it red, and then we can all play together and have a good time and turn the world around. And but if you stay blue, then you go bye-bye, right? New York City, I've said it's going to go bye-bye anyway. So I don't think it's going to change. The people there are gone, right? So and I know a lot of you are screaming, I'm here where you're a minority. So I've been saying, get the hell out of the big cities. So Mamdani gets elected. We're going to see who stays, who's hard-headed, and who's going to go down with the ship, right? So I don't unfortunately, Sammy Hagar, red. Is he? I think he's in Michigan. Is he going to Michigan? I think we'll find out, because it's not this cycle. It's like 26. Or Sammy Hagar, not Sammy Hagar. It's who's the one rocker? Ted Nugent. So Ted Nugent, I think, is going to go for governor up in Michigan or something. Maybe kick Whitmer out. That'd be great. But you can get people with great ideas, and it doesn't matter. The Democrats have the vote. So anyway, and I'm not being a downer. It is what it is. Democrats, they vote straight line Democrat, and unless they don't like they didn't like Kamala that much, so there wasn't enough of them that showed up. That's in some places, that's the only reason why Trump won some of these states. So they're going to probably show up in big numbers tomorrow, and that's going to make a difference. So we'll see. We'll see if if enough Democrats have awakened. I know a lot of these states, people have moved from Democrat to Republican. Will it be enough? We'll see. It's a big day tomorrow. Very, very monumental big day tomorrow. So President Trump said recently that he's trained there. He's got the badasses, SEAL Team 6 guys and Delta guys, and all of the special forces have been trained up, and got drones ready, and they're ready to go into Mexico, right? So I'm like, okay, I've been saying this for a little while. It's like, let's do this. And I know, isn't that something we say every day? Let's do this. And does anything get done? Sometimes it does. All right. But we're going to see, maybe not so much. All right. Now, right now, Bitcoin is not doing so good. Getting a slight bounce, but it was down pretty hard earlier. It's not looking good. I think it's probably going to go all the way down to below 100,000, 98 or so. Might even get a better deal on gold and silver, because I think it's going to be, everything goes down over the next maybe weeks or two, so maybe longer. So we're going to see something like that. I think the stock market is going to take a pretty good hit. Right now, the futures are down pretty hard. I've been watching it pretty hard. And usually I'm a little bit ahead of the game, but I think it reached a level where it was highly overbought. And now the sentiment has turned enough that it's probably going to pull back. So you guys that are stock market, love the stock market and haven't invested in anything else, even though I've been telling you, get into silver, this could be the opportunity. So the problem is your stocks are going to go down. Silver's going to go down. Maybe it'll just turn around and just take off again. Who knows? It's a possibility. Because I think last time it really got knocked down when the stock market took a really hard dip back in April. It went down too much, and then it went back. It recovered massively. So if you get another, you got some cashish set aside, and you got another pullback in silver, I would go heavy in silver, right? Bitcoin, Bitco Bros, and Bitcoin sisters, whatever. They just call everybody bros, but of course there's women involved in this quite often. I don't think you're going to get that much of a return going forward, unless you buy in at like 98 or whatever, 89, whatever it's going to go to, or maybe even lower, and then it goes back to where it was, 125, and maybe a little bit higher, because I said it's probably going to go 125. Which it did, 125, 126. And I said, maybe it can go all the way to 130, maybe 135 at the most. So I think this is going to it's going to be a pullback, and then it's going to take off again. And that'll be all she wrote, right? It's going to go up, and then we're going to see 1929 crash. And I've been saying this for a while, but these things take time. Should have been back in 2022, but there was a lot of manipulation. Will they be able to manipulate it up again? I doubt it, because everything's collapsing. There's nothing going to support it. Housing's collapsing. Businesses are collapsing. People are losing their jobs on a massive level. They're keeping it all pretty low key, but it is a bloodbath out there. And of course, we have bloodbaths in countries all over the world, right? And so everything disintegrates. So we've been saying, consciousness, when it goes through these levels of raising again, all of the old stuff collapses, and that usually brings violence. Violence, in the earth becomes violent, because it's basically growing and changing its consciousness as well. And then that affects all the people with low consciousness, because we saw a lot of that over the last several days, Halloween and so forth. We had lots of violence all over the United States and in England, and also in excuse me, some of these countries, Sudan and some other places, Nigeria, I think. So they're down in Rio de Janeiro. So there's violence everywhere, right? So the sun, shooting electrical energy at us, which there's a big coronal hole coming in to affect us again. Every 28 days it comes around. Every 28 days we have massive earthquakes kick off. So as it's coming in right now, we're having more earthquakes. We just had a big one in Afghanistan. I think there was another one that went off in Russia, on the Kamchatka Peninsula. We're probably going to see something major. Now, again, I still believe there's going to be a massive earthquake off the Oregon coast and tsunami from that. So just be ready. If you feel it, you better be on high ground, right? So everybody on the low ground goes bye-bye, right? So it's a consciousness thing, consciousness shift. Are you ready to shift, or are you still low vibration, right? We'll see. I don't know. 11 cities by last night, Sunday, have had shootings and stabbings in the USA. That's correct, Robin. Thank you for sharing that. And I shared that earlier. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. There's way too many. And so something crazy is going on. It's the energies of the earth. Okay, you look out behind me and you got this beautiful landscape. It's beautiful energy. But there's a fault line that goes right down the middle of that lake, and it'll slosh that water, and all the houses around it will go bye-bye. Right? So those of us are on the hillsides, who knows? Maybe we'll fall into the lake too. I don't think so, but maybe. Who knows? All right, so you have to be ready to, navigate to somewhere else if you have to. I'm pretty flexible at this point, and that's amazing. Grace Johnson has 30 ferrets in her house. Thank you, Body Release Tomlinson. That's good to know. All right, so random stuff. All right, so we get the random stuff in the chat. I like it. It's fun. And that probably was some kind of conversation that made sense. But when you come in from a different angle, it's like, what are you talking about? All right, let me look at my X. I put some stuff over my X. Michael Jaco 9. So Trump, like I said, Trump admin says training has begun for drone strikes, ground troop deployments against cartels in Mexico. Now, will that be in conjunction with the strikes in Venezuela? It's possible, right? So catch them all off guard. Take down all the cartels. And then you're going to have to do the same thing in the cities, because cities where all the cartel members are, and our big cities that are aligned with the Democrats, Newsom and Hochul, and you name the far left Democrat that's in some kind of political power. They're aligned with the cartels guys. That's why those cities are so violent. All right, so Ole Demigard, he's going to be on tonight. He returns 7 p.m. So we're going to have a show together. Probably more truth bombs, more deep insights and revelations. He's got a new song. We're going to play it, and so another song, and so it's going to be fun. All right, so 7 o'clock. That's about 2 hours from now. Lots. I have 2 ferrets. Grace, good job.